for the bian make sure say a year or magana a bit baby no nature say I regret pa say so abama a year former president Mahama a yes a major campaign then so former president Mahama betray one term a yade anagana for omoka ne pa a dum so send you dum so ebesi ebeye wo magana a bepime nani dum senti no ebi mu adwuma egu abesi ene dum senti ebi mu adofo efi omonsa dum senti no nkofo bebre eda so asifie ni nanse obi ohoma oye na adwuma eye light ode beye adwuma ama na nyoma etumi etum ponti no dum so ebe se nyoma we nyina ebi mu adofo ebe yare ye de omokoto eye hospital oda ho ma oxygen so ni edum light nsam ni de bebre enu ana Ghana for na omodeka eye former president Mahama na sisi ano I say Ghana for ebi mo Regrèted eba ebi mo enu omo ho ebi mo ya de omonsa ahwo mo enum na omakaso entumi enyeye ni na ni say legacy eye na ye president eye former president eye Addo ejaye no obi enu omo betimi abesete sa record no ni na gina ye free SHS Addo abeye nneoma bebre wabeye kwan wabeye nneoma bebre enso Ghana for ne eye Ghana for de be ka ne pa eye free SHS because ene free SHS ntino obi ba eye lawyer obi ba ye doctor obi ba eye nurse obi ba eye engineer ni na gina ye free SHS ho free SHS ntino obi ba etumi etukwan akonanim scholarship abemu ama ye free SHS no obi ebusua mu krampo no na eye graduate bia memu but free SHS ba ye no obi ba ofie bi mu a SHS ni eye free SHS ni ntino enwoma etumi etumpon ewe busua ni mu obi ba etumi akwa SS nso ene sisi anu ye say free SHS ye de be day student and send obi a day student o because omo kan sa de ne me krampo na nka me ye boda nka me ba be day student em so ma fin ye free SHS ni bi in some way ekoso in some way amanfo odwen ho say legacy ben na nkofo emfa eche say eye free SHS ndi ye ne ye hu say free SHS abebo na free SHS abebo maga na nkasa ama maga na so etumpon ama ehia forma so etumi akomanim nsam ne de bebre sabeka sa me ka ho asema ye nwie ne enu ntia nkoyenkotie oduonu mu nsam ne wia asanso ba abedi ho nkomo de bia mse ni dem sese ne eno face the wode back into TV so a message so best ka wa me na one share to other platform no ma comment or comment section ase more information say we be notification ben so comment same be the broke into TV no why first person now with person na wanya insane bi etie no hu ne ekoso e wo maka ne mo ye nim say ye na ye president na Addo be fi so ne de or the last one word e betuja na the last word or the tuja ne ye be ko ne yekotie insama
views about the 8 years of Akufo-Addo, what they can remember Akufo-Addo for, and let's read some of the remarks that Ghanaians have been airing on social media. Maurice K says, stable power supply. Stable power supply. Obia unti Ghana, no, you understand this. And the Ukraine say, over almost 7 years period, through the administration of NDC, from 2009 to somewhere 2017, we struggled as a nation to have constant flow of power for even 12 hours. Whenever we got power for 12 hours, it was a miracle. And it took Akufo-Addo's government in 2017 to ensure that Ghanaians have electricity power for 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so he is very right that he will remember Akufo-Addo for stable power supply. Yusuf Mahama says that he will remember Akufo-Addo for the Zongo Development Fund, which has funded many projects in our Zongos. Yes, Zongos have been transformed under Akufo-Addo. That fund was made available. They've built schools. They've increased education in the Zongos. And now our Zongos are better than what they used to be. before Akufo-Addo took office. Akosua is here. She says that free senior high school will forever remain his legacy regardless. So not only I but many Ghanaians accept the fact that Akufo-Addo's legacy is free senior high school. In the history of this nation, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, when we talk about education, most especially senior high school education, one name will pop up: Nana Akufo-Addo. And that name will be remembered for providing free education for more than 5.7 million Ghanaian children. Now, this one is from Maurice K.A. He says that being the best president to manage COVID in Africa, you will remember in 2020, when all hopes was basically lost, when nations were on their knees, when people were begging, when people were crying, calling on divinity, that divinity should come to our aid. That is the moment that Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, rose to the occasion with his fellow Ghanaians address. If you will remember, almost every week, Akufo-Addo was on our screens, encouraging us, telling us, fellow Ghanaians, we got you covered. We believe that we will be out of this. Very soon we'll be out of it. My government is doing this. And indeed, it became known that even some of the neighboring countries like Nigeria, Togo, Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso were relying on the update from Akufo-Addo to encourage themselves in the heat of the pandemic. Ajaduku says that Ghana's best president ever, commissioner-in-chief, schools, hospital, interchange, factories, etc., you name it. You know what? One thing that happens is that mostly in the election years, what we are used to is that is when politicians cut swords in the election year, because they want to create the impression to the electorate and confirm about like they are now coming to do some things, and for them to continue they need another mandate or their party must remain in power. And so that is what we are used to. We should remember John Mahama's time. Before, when it was the election year, he started cutting sword for this, cutting sword for that, cutting sword for this, cutting sword for that. The thing changed under Akufo-Addo. This year, Akufo-Addo has been renamed the Commissioner General. In the sense, this year Akufo-Addo commissioned phase 2 of UHAS, commissioned a lot of hospitals, Afari Military Hospital, and several other hospitals. A lot of them, Swame Hospital, Agena 101 hospitals, a lot. He commissioned other structures, courts, and all those things all over the nation. Headquarters for Bank of Ghana, headquarters for Minerals Commission, and all were done in this election year. So somebody says that Akufo-Addo is the best president ever Ghana has ever had. Kwame Nyami says that he was able to clear the backlog of nurses from 2012 still beats my imagination. Before Akufo-Addo came to power, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 5 years batches of nurses were sitting in the house redundant, because John Dramani Mahama's administration had entered a deal with IMF and claimed that IMF told them not to employ anybody. Akufo-Addo came and said, no, it was John Mahama himself who proposed that to IMF, and IMF agreed. And for that reason, Akufo-Addo went back to IMF and said, look, we cannot sit for our nurses to be sitting in the house and be losing their skills. We got to employ them now. And Akufo-Addo secured agreement from IMF, and he employed and cleared 5 years backlog. Me too. I also. It beats my imagination. Now, more people were talking. Mahama says, the year of roads, super, constructed more roads under his leadership. As for the roads, I am a living testimony. Now, when I'm going to my hometown, Ho Central, double carriage from Sokode to Ho, beautiful road done by Akufo-Addo. Many of the access roads in various cities, especially the newly